listener, welcome to this week's Plan With Me video. Definitely feels like a bit of a weird week to plan because I am starting my new job this week, so it's quite a transition. But to be honest, when I think about these life changes, it makes me so much happier that I am doing Plan With Me videos and I am doing planners and stuff like that, just because I feel like so much more of my life is being documented than I was before. And I love not just looking back at the spreads, but sometimes going back to these videos where I'm actually talking about those moments in my life. I'm just going to keep rambling, so I should probably start the plan with me and I'll just keep going. But I'm actually going to use a super old spread. I bought this probably a year or two ago. It is from the Sticky Station. It is time that I start using some of my old kits, check boxes, some labels, activity boxes. You have a massive deco sheet, which I am super excited to use. Half boxes. You got some strips here, full boxes, full check boxes, and then your bottom strips and date covers. So yeah, let's get right into the plan with me. So this is the week we'll be planning in. So you see, it's my first day. It's the weekend at the moment, but it will be my first day this week. And yeah, a few things to do on the weekend and then some exciting plans the week after. But I think this time I'm going to do the structural bits, but I'm just going to keep talking through it just because I feel like I'm in a rambly sort of mood right now. So let's just get straight to the bottom part. When I think about all my major life events, it does make me really happy that I am doing these sort of videos. I think before I was doing Plan With Me's, and honestly I feel like the Plan With Me's are probably the most personal videos that I do and probably will do. I can't imagine, I have been thinking a lot about the sort of videos and content I want to do. Okay, this is too long. That's a bit of a shame, but that's okay. I will just cut it down. What I do is I'll take this and I'll just slice off the end. There we go. So, a little lopsided, but that's fine. And then, yeah, I was just thinking the Plan With Me videos are probably my most personal. I've been thinking a lot about the sort of videos and content that I want to create in general, the direction I want to go. And the more I think about it, like for my main channel, my vlog channel, all those sort of channels, I just want to make like creative content where I maybe don't speak to the camera as much, where I do more costumes, like back to how I did my Book of Fable series. I want to do those sort of videos because I just find it's a nice creative release and it gives me a lot of, I feel control over how I want to express things as opposed to sitting down and talking to the camera. I've done that a lot. I probably still will do some of that, but I kind of feel like I don't want to do that as much. It's just more that when I started YouTube, that wasn't the sort of video those weren't the sort of videos I was making, sitting down and talking to the camera. And I think even to this day, it's still not my most favorite sort of videos. They're very easy to do and I can see why people do them, but it's not my favorite sort of video to make. However, I feel like when I do a Plan With Me video, I am kind of just sitting in front of the camera, although it is looking at my desk, and just talking to you guys about how I feel. But I think the added benefit of the Plan With Me is that because I'm not looking into the camera, I don't see my facial expression, I feel so much more like I can be honest and I can be open and I can just be myself, which is, yeah, it's a really nice feeling. So that was a long way around to say that I basically really love that I'm documenting everything in my life to the last day of the job that I really love, which honestly was a very sad moment for me. Sad and good, you know what I mean? To what will be the first day of my next job. Like if I just think back to, say, my parents when they were growing up, there's so many holes, I guess, like not holes, but there's so many moments in their life that would have never been documented. They would have experienced it. Oh my goodness, am I out? No, it's not out, it's just being silly. There's so many like amazing moments in their lives that they would have experienced that weren't documented. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, a lot of people find it better to just have the experience rather than to constantly need to document everything. I am kind of in two minds of that. This is a bit off, but we'll live with it. I'm in kind of two minds of that. Like, I'm not someone who feels that everything needs to be documented because I feel like sometimes when you over document things, you can get, I just realized I forgot to put the activity boxes down below. I'll go ahead and do that before I get too carried away. If you force everything to be documented, that's when you no longer experience things. So for example, when you're like having a proper moment or something like that, I don't know, say you're getting proposed to and you're like, wait, I need to vlog this. Yeah, that kind of ruins the moment, and I get that. But a plan with me video is not really documenting the moments per se, as it is the memories of those moments, or the prediction of those moments, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like both. So whilst I'm documenting my first day and everything like that, I still get to feel and experience what it's going to be like when I step into the new office, when I meet the people for the first time, when I go through the week and I go through the emotions I'll go through. I still get to do all that without feeling the need to document everything, except I kind of am. So in 10 years time, I can look back at this particular spread and I've been like, that was the week that I started this new journey. There's only 3, and there's only 5 like eating ones, which is a bit annoying because I like to document all my dinners for the week. So I don't know what to put down instead then. I might just put the, so they've got some exclamation marks, so maybe I'll just use the exclamation marks. Maybe I'll use the hearts as what my meals would be for those, well, not meals, my dinners. I'm not really sure why I even document the dinners, to be honest. Like, there's probably no good reason, except I just feel like it. I've gotten used to it now, and so I like just seeing what my dinners are. First week of my new job, honestly, I thought I would be really nervous. I think I probably am to some degree, but I'm not as nervous as I thought I would be. I kind of thought at this point I would be a lot more nervous than I am. I think it's just been a bit of a roller coaster to get to the point that I am at now, so I am just curious to know what life will be like. I've been thinking about it a lot. I've been contemplating how different my life will be. I've been over dramatizing stuff in my head probably a bit too much, and I think I'm just ready to see what life is going to be like now going forward. I think that's all for the bottom bars. I don't really have a lot to use. There's not a whole ton of stuff. The other thing about leaving the old job is that whilst it was really sad in a way, because I obviously loved my job there, I loved the people there, and I don't know how much I got into detail in the previous weeks, and I think I was just a little bit, how do you say? I think I was a little bit scared to get into too much detail because I was still there and I just didn't know what people would think in case they watch this video. I know they're not watching this video, but you know, you just never know. When you put stuff online, you just never know. And I knew that I had to I just wanted to tread lightly before, at least I wanted to make sure I was actually gone before I felt like I could be more open and honest about things. So now that I have gone, I feel like I can be a little bit more open. So whilst leaving was really sad, I think I was really leaving more the memories behind. That's probably the sad part for me. I really want to move this across because it's bugging me now. So let's see. Okay, it's a removable sticker, so that's good. There we go. That's a lot better. Makes me feel a lot better. Yeah, whilst I felt really sad about leaving and everything like that, it was really just the memories. And to be fair, the memories have since gone for quite some time now. I love the people at my job, but the people that I love, like when I keep referring to the people that I love, they're actually no longer at my job. Like pretty much 95% of them aren't there anymore. So that was one of the big reasons I decided to leave, because so many people had left. And they had all left in different ways, if that makes sense. Some had left because they resigned, they just didn't like the management team, they didn't like how things were being conducted. And that was sad because that was kind of like, it was like we were bleeding out slowly. I don't know, that sounds so morbid, that sounds really horrible, but I can't think of any other way to describe it. Like, I'd always found my job stressful, but I could always put up with a lot of the things that were happening in my job because I loved the people at my job. Like, you don't even know how much I love these people. They essentially become my family, and I share some of the worst and some of the best times with them. So there was a lot that I would go through for them, and when they slowly start to leave, you kind of... I remember the first person who left that kind of triggered it all for me was one of my managers. And I don't even know if I've ever talked about this online before, so this might be a first for me. He probably left a few years ago now. I can't actually remember. I think it was 2 to 3 years ago, so it was a little while ago. He left, and I remember feeling completely heartbroken when he left. And it was just such a terrible way to find out as well, because I didn't find out from his announcement, which he had to announce it because he was a partner in the company, so pretty high level, in which case it had to be kind of official and everything like that. And there was a different partner that actually told me before the official announcement, because he was so happy to see him go, which, like, I mean, it's politics, right? But he told me because he was just elated. And I didn't realize, and I don't know if he knew how upset I was when he told me, because I basically just froze up. And when he left, I burst into tears. I was crying uncontrollably. I was so upset. And when I think back about it, I'm like, oh my goodness, Celina, seriously, it's just work. It's not a big deal. But I want to try and illustrate to you guys how much work meant to me, how much that company meant to me, and the family that I had there and everything like that. So yeah, I was pretty much inconsolable that day. I was crying so much, and eventually, once the announcement came out, my manager did call me, and it was the weirdest phone call I ever had, because prior to that, all the phone calls we've always had were about work, and it was about my career and things I had to do to strive harder, be better, all that sort of stuff. And this phone call, I still think about it today, and I still think of it as being the strangest call I've had. We sat there in complete silence on the phone. He called me, and I could tell he was really sad. And I just cried on the phone, and that was the entire phone call. Just me crying. And what really sucked is that the support network that I had, so my little, like, cohort's not the right word, but it's kind of like the group of people that I bonded with that would be there to emotionally support me. One was having a baby and one was on annual leave, so they weren't the two people that I would lean on. No, one was having a baby, one was annual leave, and I think one was on a project, but she was like out of the state or something like that. So that group that I would be leaning on wasn't there. So I had to just kind of deal with it on my own. And then I remember the client, because I was working with the client at the time, they found me kind of behind the cupboards crying, and they didn't know what to do because we weren't very close. But you'll find this a bit funny because we weren't very close, but they felt really bad, and they were just like, oh my goodness, yeah, they were shocked as well. So that was a really emotional day, and I think that was the day that kicked everything off, because slowly, very slowly, bit by bit, a lot of the people that I love slowly started leaving to join other companies, to find opportunities, and it was kind of like my little group of people was slowly dwindling down. But I stayed because I still, and this is still the case today. I'm gonna move these down. I've got a lot of stuff on Saturday, but I might just move my sticky notes down so I can actually white everything out. I still love the company, and even now I still love the company for the memories and the opportunities it's given me, but there were still people there. I was meeting new people, and so I stuck around for those people. But eventually, when you have enough of the leadership team leave, I can't even remember what I'm doing. This was Japanese class, wasn't it? I'm gonna put this little pencil down here for Japanese class. Eventually, the leadership team started breaking up, so more of the leadership team would slowly leave, and that would always be sad, because when you work for a company, I feel like if you've got good leaders, that makes a huge difference. And once your leadership changes, I can't speak. When your leadership changes and it's no longer the group that you trusted, that you would work with, that can prove problematic. And that's what it was starting to become for me, that too many people in the leadership team were leaving, and they weren't being replaced with people that I knew or trusted very much. So that was a challenging time for me, for sure. I feel like I want to put something here before I put down this box. So I think I might put like a piece of clip art. Can I do this? Oh no, I'll just put another divider. Yeah, it's because I haven't used these zigzags in so long, so I've like completely forgotten that I can actually still use them. But I used to use them as dividers. Oops. There we go. I really should make some for myself because I do love using them. So yeah, but they started leaving. That still sucked. However, it got to a point in my career where I was, how do you say, I climbed the corporate ladder high enough that it didn't matter too much if the leadership wasn't exactly how I wanted it, because I was essentially becoming part of the leadership team anyways. So I was comfortable with that. However, when you're at that sort of level in your career, then you want to be around people who are supportive of you. Like, they become like your peers. You want to make sure you've got good peers to lean on. And that became a problem because slowly my peers started going as well. And that was probably what kicked off my decision to take the 3 months off work, because I figured I'd always wanted to do something for myself like this, like running my own business and just seeing what it would like to manage my own time. So I thought, well, given work has become so uninspiring, this is a great opportunity. So I took it, and as you guys know, it was the best decision ever. Loved it so much. So then I came back to work at the start of this year, and I just thought, okay, well, I have to keep working because I need to earn a living. I can't just chill out and do whatever I want. That's just, unfortunately, life just isn't like that right now. And I thought I would just make the most of it and see how I go. I've forgotten what I need to do here. I'm not even sure if I want to put anything here just yet. I think I'm gonna leave that part for now. I'll move back to it and I'll get on to the weekend. So I've got 2 weekend banners, and I think I'm gonna use this one because I actually like this one a lot better. I'm gonna use this one. Will this fit? Yeah, okay. A lot of the people that I work with, some of them were still around, so it was fine. And so I just figured, okay, it's not the most ideal situation, but you know, it still pays my bills. I'm still working with people I like. It's fine. Like, we'll figure it out somehow. And then a bunch of redundancies came out. Oh my goodness. It was just kind of like one thing after another. I unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess it depends how you want to see it, didn't get offered a redundancy package. I asked for one because, having been at the company for 11 years, I knew that my package would be really good. That sounds odd to say, but they wouldn't give me one because they saw how I would fit into the future and they wanted me to stay, which is obviously a really nice thing, and I appreciate being like, I appreciate that feeling, that sentiment. Like, everyone loves to be wanted, I guess, so that felt good, but it wasn't the path I wanted. And also, and the people that they had made redundant was basically my remaining cohort, my remaining group of friends. So you can kind of see where my train of thought started moving towards as time went by. I don't think it was a surprise at all. I know that when I resigned, nobody was really surprised. They're just more like, yeah, we were more surprised you didn't do it sooner. So yeah, so it was kind of like a mixture of things. I figured that it would be good to move into a direction or place. Should I just make this like for like? Nah, I'll put a to-do list down here. If this place isn't really the place I want to be anymore, where do I go? What would I do? And then I figured, all right, not only would I want to be in an environment that I feel is healthy for me now, I figured that it would be good to get a job I feel that would eliminate things like the consistent travel that I had to do in my old job, so that I would have the time and the brain space, I guess, but more the time to be at home to work on the things that I want to work on, like this. And I think I've found that, hopefully. I guess I will find out over the next few months what it's going to be like and if it's was the right decision. I know it's the right decision to go. I think it was like, everyone has an expiry date, I feel, and I think mine had hit. So it was a good time to go. Whether moving into this direction was the right decision, we will find out very soon. Will this fit? This will just fit. If I can give it just a little bit of white space. There we go. Perfect. Do I need something here? Perfect. Okay, cool. So that's my weekdays. So I'm just going to do the sidebar. I feel like that's the most honest I've ever been regarding my job. Like, ever in the space of online YouTube world. That is the most honest I've ever been. And it was really nice and refreshing that I could do that. Let's put habit tracker. Right now, this kit doesn't really have, they have hydration bottles, but they're going to be on like each day. So I'm mostly just going to be tracking steps, which I hope I can find a sticker for. Okay, this is from a different kit. It does stand out a little, but I think I'm okay with that. So I'll put this here. But this is what I mean, right? Like, I couldn't imagine making a video telling you guys everything that I've just told you now. It just wouldn't really fit into my content. It wouldn't make sense. Okay, this green is not fitting in that well. I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna have to change the sidebar up a little bit because I don't have the stickers I normally would use. I still would like a step counter though. That's gonna be hard to find. I'm just gonna kind of make this up as I go along at this point because I think that's the only thing I can really do. Planning upside down when I don't need to is very confusing. if I do this, these dots are still a little big, but they kind of can mark down each of the days. So Monday, Tuesday, that's not too bad. It's a little bit hacky looking, but at least it keeps with the theme of the colors. So I think I'm gonna stick with this. I'm pretty happy with this. And I've got one checkbox left that I could probably put down here and just make it as kind of a random list. Or I could stack these boxes, sort of. Yeah, let's do that instead. I think that will look prettier. I love that these videos allow me to be creative, but it also allows me to be honest and personal with you guys. Okay, that's pretty much everything in the plan with me section where I can talk. Okay, I think I'm gonna just shut off the camera for a little bit and just kind of finesse this spread, and then I'll be right back to show you the finished product. And this is the final spread. I don't think I added any extra stickers except potentially this one. I'm not sure. This is from Hello Petite Paper. It's just starting to plan out some outfits because next week, well, you'll see in next week's plan with me. Wish me luck for my first day at my new job. Hopefully it all goes well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. This is Celina reporting from my room. Back to you, internet.